Okay, guys, I've got 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. We'll go ahead and get started. I won't keep you guys very long tonight. I want to hit the basics of the Fast Start training, which is focused tonight on making the main thing the main thing. And I know that's one thing that Chris Estes, one of my mentors, pushes all the time, is we can get sidetracked with so many different tools and things out there now that's available for us. But when it comes down to it, it's following a simple system and getting out and duplicating that, because it doesn't matter how good you are, how good I am, how good anybody is, if we're not duplicating a simple system and building a business that we have leverage in and can leverage our time with others doing the same thing, so that we're not constantly rebuilding. First of all, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Will Weaver. I'm a triple diamond in Zija International. I was an educator and coach for 16 years, no previous business experience, just an average, ordinary guy that knows how to work hard, and became very imbalanced because that's all I did was get out and coach football, and it led me to a place to where I was at a low point in my life. I ended up divorced, basically hopeless, didn't have very much money, and I was very blessed with this opportunity, Zija International. I prayed for an opportunity. I finally took a look after a year, was blown away, and made a decision to join this team and take massive action. But in doing that, I sought out a lot of mentors, the Mike Sams, the Greg Bibbs, the Chris Estes, people that I knew were having success in this company. I wanted to make sure that I was doing exactly what they have done to get where they were. And it all goes down to doing the basics, and that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. Everyone on this call tonight is in one of 3 groups. Either you're just starting out as a distributor, which is great. We're glad to have you. 2014 is going to be unbelievable. You've joined at a great time. The foundation is built. Or you're a current distributor that is duplicating our system already and building momentum and just wanted to basically self-develop a little bit more, and that's probably the reason that you're in the position that you're in now. And third, you may be a current distributor that has decided to re-engage and is hitting the restart button. Okay, again, welcome. A great thing about this business is that if you stick and stay, eventually you will get the pay if you're doing the right things. And I've seen people within my organization over the last 2 years. I've had some people that have come in, tried to do things their own way, and then they've regrouped and saw that it didn't work, and they re-engaged, hit the restart button, and those people are having massive success right now. So I wanted to make sure, just to throw that out there, that if you're one of those current distributors that really wants to do it the right way in 2014, you can always hit the restart button. That's what's great about this business and this opportunity. The Fast Start training, making the main thing the main thing. What we're going to talk about tonight is we're going to develop a strong why, learn the system, and we're going to talk about duplicating the system. Those are the 3 things that we're going to talk about tonight. The very first thing, the most important question that you've got to answer is, why have you chosen to do this business? I need you to take a minute and really think about it, because by developing a strong why, that's going to feed the engine for you doing this business the way that you want to do it. A strong why is going to allow you to battle any obstacle you may and will face in this business, because when you stay in this business long enough, you'll realize that for the first 18 to 24 months, it is a roller coaster at times. You're going to have some great things happen, and you're going to have some obstacles to where you're going to have to face. You're going to have to self-develop and just keep moving forward. But if your why is strong enough, there's nothing that will get in your way, and you'll be able to overcome it. This next slide right here is very important to me. This is my why. Okay, I've got this placed all around my house. I've actually got my 2014 book that the first thing I open it says, "This is your why," and it's a picture of my daughters. And right next to them, I have my 2014 goals, and I also have my goals 4 and 5 years from now in this company. And this is the reason that I push so hard on a daily basis, because I remember why I'm doing this business, why I choose to go out and help other people be successful, is because of my why that's pictured right here. I want to have more time with them. I want to basically be in a situation to where their future college options are open. They have security in case something were to happen to me. And I want to self-develop and be the best dad I can be, because at one time I was out raising everyone else's kids and wasn't as home with my priorities where they needed to be at one time. But sometimes we get brought to our knees to really look at our life, reevaluate our priorities, and set goals, make changes, and continue to move on. But your why must be strong enough to make you cry, because if it's not strong enough to make you cry, then you really need to continue digging and make sure you strengthen it, because material things are usually not the answer that's going to help you get through those tough times. If I just say I'm after more money, or I want to drive a nice car, or this, that's all good, but that's not strong enough to continue you moving through. I mean, you've got to ask yourself, would you run through a wall for your why? Okay, so put your why on paper and make sure you see it every day that you're in this business, whether it be, I try to have pictures of my daughters in every room, because I can't help but to walk in a room and see why I'm working so hard and helping so many other people. The big thing, you've got to learn the system. It's a very, very simple system that anyone can do if their why is strong enough. The first one is peak. You must learn the art of listening, and this is one thing that I've really gotten good at over time, is if you learn to listen, people complain about the following things daily. They tell you they don't feel good, they want to lose weight, they work too much, or they don't make enough money, okay? And if you'll just listen to people around you, you'll hear that on a daily basis. And what I do is I just ask them, are you open to a solution, okay? What if you could change that, would you? So now what I've done is I've listened to them complain, and then I've asked them if they're open to a solution, because one thing you'll learn over time is that a lot of people complain, but they do it because they like complaining. They're not willing to do anything to change that. Those are not the people you want in this business. You don't want people in this business that are going to be negative, that are not tough enough, that don't have a strong why, that don't want to change. Those are not the people that you're going to be able to help in this business. And what I do is if I ask them if they're open to a solution and they say yes, or I'll say, if you could change it, would you? I say, I found a company that helps with that. And this is one thing that I got from Chris Esses the other night. I heard him speak. And when you tell somebody, for example, if I had someone a couple weeks ago that had a shoulder injury and was complaining about it, and I go back to them and I say, hey, remember when you told me your shoulder was hurting you? Is that still the case? And they say yes. And I just say, I found a company that helps people with shoulder injuries, or helps people with inflammation in their shoulders, okay? The less you say, the better off you're going to be. We're not selling anything, and I think that's important for people to understand. We are sharing solutions is what we're doing. So if you make a statement, I found a company that helps people work less. I found a company that helps people make more money part-time. And when you say that, you're going to get one of two reactions, okay? Either they're going to ask you a question, oh, yeah, what is it? Or they're not going to say anything at all. If they don't say anything at all, you hadn't got a rejection. All you did was make a statement. What we're trying to do is get people out, piquing interest to where you're not getting rejections, and that's exactly what you're getting here. You're making a statement. I found a company that helps with that, okay? Now, if they ask a question, then what I do is I say, I would love to answer that, but I'd rather show you some information. Can I get your email or phone number? I'll send you a link. So now what I would do is I would send them, we'll talk about tools right after this that you could match it up with the prospect, but I don't ever want to answer questions. Okay, the worst thing that you can do right off is to go out and start telling somebody 46 antioxidants, 36 anti-inflammatories, and all that information. That's not the time when you pique interest. All you're trying to do is see if someone's interested in making a change or if they're interested in improving their nutrition. That's all you're doing when you're piquing interest. And this right here you can do over and over and over again by just making statements, okay, not going out and getting no's. That's important for people early on, because some people at first at least aren't tough enough to take a bunch of no's. And right here I'm not getting no's. And that's one thing that Chris really talked about the other day, that I've been in for 2 years and had a lot of success. But when I go to these events, I still take good notes and I still learn every single day. I learn from people that are just coming into the business. So it's one of those deals where you got to constantly keep learning and evolving. But when it comes back to it, you've also got to keep it very, very simple. The next thing I want to pass to a tool, okay, match the tool to the prospect. There's lots of diamond videos out there of people and that were in different jobs, educators, coaches, real estate agents. So you can match the tool to the prospect with a diamond video. You can send them to drinklifein.com, their corporate website, a newspaper, a webinar, a thing that I was able to help out with the other day, the Project 5000 calls. Those are tremendous. If you're not using those, you need to find out information about them. There's 4 a day, 10, 12, 2, and 4, some tremendous leaders. Get on there and just basically give a 15-minute quick presentation. They hit the nuts and bolts of the company, of the product. So anyway, there's lots of tools, but it's important to fit the tool to the person, usually in the same field of work or a person that has been in a similar situation. So that is key by passing them to the right tool. The next thing, which a lot of us kind of drop the ball on, I know I have numerous times, is the follow-up. You've got to remember that the fortune is in the follow-up. After the prospect has had time to look at the tool, you're going to call them and ask 3 basic questions. These questions never change. They stay the same. Your first day in the business, they'll be the same 5 years into the business. Have you looked at the information? You're going to get a yes or no answer there. If they haven't, then go ahead and say, okay, well, can I call you back tomorrow? Do you think you'll have had time to look at it? Or when would it be a good time to call you back? It's important to set an appointment because you are running a business. If you treat it like a hobby or you tell somebody you're going to follow up and you don't, then you're telling them that you're not very successful at running your business because you've missed an appointment. So go ahead and set an appointment on when it's good to follow back up with them. Number 2, you're going to say, what did you like about it? When we call them on the follow-up, we're not trying to talk very much at all. All we're trying to do is ask questions and getting our prospect talking, okay? And they're going to tell you more product-based, more business-based, or they're going to tell you both. The third one is, what questions do you have? As soon as they ask a question, your job on the follow-up is not to answer a bunch of questions. What you've done, you've piqued their interest, passed them to a tool, you followed up, and if you're a beginner in this business, one thing we teach our downline people is as soon as they get a question on the follow-up, we say, you know, that's a great question. I'm very excited about this product and company. I'm very excited about this product and company. I'm learning as I go. We have a solid team and simple system. I'm going to plug you into one of my upline people having lots of success to answer your questions. So what I've done is I've showed them, hey, I just got in. I'm still learning. We have a simple system. I'm going to plug you into my upline leaders that are having success. The next thing, if you're an experienced distributor, I can answer just about any question right now, but I still don't, okay, because I want to show people that we have a simple, duplicatable system because they don't want to feel like when they join the business, they've got to come in and answer all these hard questions and learn all this information because they don't. So what I do when people ask questions. I said, those are great questions. I could answer all of them now, but I want to plug you into a partner to answer them so you can see what support you're going to have when you join, and also how simple our system is to duplicate. So now what I'm doing is I usually, and there's a lot of times, I'll plug them into some of my downline people. It's important when you've got someone good in your downline, use them, okay? And one thing Chris Estes always told me is make your downline your upline, okay? So it doesn't always have to be an upline person. And what's great about it, again, fit the tool to the person. A lot of times it helps if it's a person in the same field. But the next thing, plug them in to a three-way call with an upline member or person in the same field, a PBR, an opportunity call, a webinar, which Team Victory, I want to tell you guys, we have 6 webinars a week for the next 90 days as part of our 90-day blitz. We have different leaders doing them every night. They're Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. You can get on here and see about a 30-minute opportunity presentation. And then Saturday at 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern. If you have any questions about that, you can email me, text me, or whatever, and I'll get you that information. But the next thing to do after you plug them in is to close them. Some of us do all the right things, but we get to the end and we don't close the prospect. Because I know if you don't get used to doing this, you feel kind of awkward, like you want them to say, okay, sign me up, I'm ready to join. That doesn't happen very often. The way that you close a prospect after you've done the process, peak, pass, plug, is I always finish with, what other questions do you have before we can get you started as a customer or distributor today? And that kind of puts them on the spot. You've shown them everything, and, hey, are you in or are you not? So that's kind of the way that I usually close prospects. Sometimes you can get someone to do that, and your upline will help you close them. But eventually you do got to ask, okay, for them to become a distributor or a customer today. And it's important that they understand that they can become a customer, okay, and get on the product. And then later on, if they want to be a distributor, that they can at that time. So it's not if they don't come in as a distributor now that they could never be a distributor, because some people build their stories with the product before they go out and want to share it with other people. The next thing, make 2 lists. And I got this from Chris the other day, made a lot of sense. List number 1 will be everyone you've heard complain about something in the last 3 or 4 weeks. So if I'm just getting started, I want to make list 1, everyone I've heard complain about something, okay? List number 2 is going to be people you know that are very successful and will make great teammates. They're winners that you want on your team. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to approach list 2 yet. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to build my story before I approach list 2, because sometimes, now here's the deal, I'm always going to eventually approach list 2, okay? Those are people that when I first get in, I might be a little intimidated to approach it first, okay? But what I'm going to do is start off with list number 1, okay, because list number 2 are going to ask you these questions, okay? How long have you been in? What kind of money are you making? Why should I join with you? And it's going to be great when you can tell them this. I've almost got my investment back my first 2 days of doing this business, and will have no overhead the next month because my product is already free. So if I can come out and I can get enough customers in the first couple days to where now when I approach that second list, I can say, hey, I've already almost got my investment back, okay, and I'm running a no overhead business. So now you have a little bit of a story to get them interested, because they will ask you those questions. And when you can tell them, well, I haven't signed anybody up yet, but I'm going to, okay, so it's very important that you go after and you try to have success, okay, before you approach those other groups. Now, these are facts about our business. You have joined our company at the right time. We have superior, unique products. We have the right leadership. Our vision is to be the best. We have a simple, duplicatable system. And one thing that you've got to remember and really take this to heart, be proud. Be proud to be a part of this organization right here that is making history, okay, in network marketing. Don't let anyone take your fire from you, because there's going to be a lot of people out there that don't understand it, okay, that aren't tough enough to do it, and that think you may actually succeed. So it's important early on to surround yourself with other like-minded people that will support you. That is so key early on. And as you stay in the business longer, you're going to meet other people, okay, that you're going to create bonds and relationships with, and you can help each other out. It doesn't matter upline, downline, sideline. It doesn't matter. Create as many relationships as you can with people in the business, and make sure that you're helping others be successful, because it always comes back around. And the more people you help, the more people are going to be willing to help you also. Also, this is a key quote right here. This is a fact. A distributor is 15 times more likely to be in the business 1 year from today if they earn a check in the first 48 hours. I'm going to repeat that one more time. That is key. A distributor is 15 times more likely to be in the business 1 year from today if they earn a check in their first 48 hours. So make sure that when you enroll someone, you don't sign them up, you sponsor them, which means help them make their list. Help them get out there and prospect people. Okay, share the information that we just went over, the system, the peak, the pass, the plug. Okay, some people come in right away and they worry too much about the compensation plan. They worry too much about knowing every fact of the product. That really doesn't matter early on. What your goal is to get them a check as soon as you can, because I still remember yesterday, just like it was yesterday, it was 2 years ago, I got my first check for $38, and I couldn't believe it. I was so used to having to go out and work on a farm and put in those hours and clock in and clock out to be able to get a paycheck. I didn't know that I could go out and just share something I believed in, and I was going to have a paycheck show up in my mailbox. So looking back, I still remember that first check, and a light bulb went off in my head. How do I get a bigger check? Okay, and it all goes back to the basics. So try to get your people a check as soon as possible. So if you're getting started today, let's start the right way. If you're restarting, hey, tomorrow's your day one in this business. And if you've hit a point to where you're having to restart, it's important that you do a couple things. Really sit down tonight and evaluate what you've done. If you've joined 6 months ago, what have I done the last 6 months that has led me to not having the success that I needed to have? You need to really evaluate that, because if you evaluate that, you can change it, okay? Because what you've been doing may not have been the right thing, but a great thing about this business, you can change it any time and come out and tomorrow be day one, okay? So I'm just going to challenge you to really self-reflect and make a 1 year commitment to getting in this and doing it the right way. And if you're someone that's out there having lots of momentum and success, keep pouring the fire on, support your people, make sure that they see you doing what you're preaching to them. Don't get in management mode. Make sure that you're out there sponsoring new people, because your people will do exactly what they see you do. But I just want to encourage everybody, 2014 is your year. You guys can do it. You're, like I said, right place, right time, right leadership. Let's go out and just make it happen. You guys have a great night. We'll be doing these. We're going to try to do one every Sunday. So any new distributors that you have, you can send them on the call every Sunday. But let's go out and have a great 2014. You guys have a great night. Thanks for tuning in.